we're not religious about densification for its own sake. And there's quite an interesting discussion in the report on perhaps a distinction between something you might call as being dense and something you might call as compact. Now, I know these are only words, but let's be frank, you can densify an urban space and end up with even worse problems. A compact space is really code for saying, look, there are a series of attributes that need to be thought about together. And that's the way different uses knit together and the way in which transport and other infrastructure can be used to minimise a series of environmental nasties and to maximise the quality of urban space and public and private space. So I think we'd say that it comes back to being joined up between things which are currently a bit fragmented.
Right, and you talk about, you seem to welcome the changes in Auckland at the moment in terms of the planning changes that have been made there. And you effectively asking for that to be applied to other New Zealand cities to have spatial plans.
Yeah, our recommendation is that the sort of coherence that you can achieve now in Auckland would be probably worth doing in cities above 100,000 people. So that experience seems to be a positive one, carrying that further forward.
Okay. And you talk about factors that have prevented significant progress in Auckland and other cities. Would they be around the three legislation?
That's one element. The other element is simply that New Zealand is a very centralised country in terms of the ability of local and regional government to use certain types of policy tools. Now, again, the OECD is quite keen on the use of prices, where you've got real scarcity and there's scarcity of space on roads and they're costly things to build. So we tend to be pretty supportive of road pricing, for instance, or congestion charging. That is something which is not available to Auckland or to other cities. But it's part of a more general point, and that is that a lot of the fiscal levers available, the economic levers available, are not able to be used by cities. The central government holds the keys there, and this is a feature. The team who looked at this element of New Zealand in doing this report would say that New Zealand's really out at one extreme in terms of the level of centralisation of control of some of these financial mechanisms. So
local governments should have more ability to set road pricing.
Yeah, well, yes, I mean that needs to be done, of course, in partnership with central government, because central government usually has major arteries running through cities. But the idea, for instance, that all major roads would be funded from the central government pot without any local contribution, again sets up some interesting tensions to push roading onto the centre, and that's another point which is commented on.
Yeah, sure, and obviously in the report there's a bit of talk about tax in terms of tax on assets, and you note how rates are based on capital value rather than land value. We can't let really the OECD come through without asking them about your views on the tax settings and how that's feeding into this report on the environment.
Well, they're discussed. I mean, we simply say that if you are concerned about the shape of your cities and the way they're developing, you have to look at all the things which influence them, and the way in which tax is imposed is going to have effects which are spatial in form. Now, we don't prescribe how that should happen, but it's not new. It's been mentioned in our economic surveys. We keep coming back to these points. These are the hardest things very often politically to deal with, because you have a way of doing things, and that gets built into property prices, and if you're going to start changing the system, those have big knock-on effects. But we just ask the question, is this the best configuration of tools that are available? Are you using them in the best possible way?